We're down to the final 8 teams in this year's Leagues Cup tournament, with all 4 quarterfinal games kicking off this Saturday, August 17th at 6 o'clock, then 7:30, 8, and finally 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for a full night of Leagues Cup action. It's been a mostly MLS-dominated tournament, as we have 6 of 8 of the final teams all coming from MLS. Mazatlan upset another Mexican side, Cruz Azul, to get here, and even Club America were perilously close to being knocked out by a very average at best St. Louis team. Trends to maybe consider for the 2 MLS versus LigaMX matchups in this round. MLS now 18-10 in regulation wins between head-to-head matches between the 2 leagues, 7-6 in shootouts for MLS, and the goals scored are 62-46 in favor of MLS as well. But let's move into Saturday, and before you bet on these Saturday games, be sure to check out this link right down there or down there in the comments of this video, signupexpert.com/shredthespread. You can see a listing of all the top sportsbook promos and new customer promotions and bonus offers in your area. There's bonus bets, deposit matches, and more of up to $500, $1,000, or maybe even $1,500, depending the book and the area where you're located. Be sure to check that out. While you're watching, help me out, give this video a like, and subscribe to the channel to get more soccer predictions. Game number 1 at 6 o'clock. It's Columbus Crew and New York City FC. 3rd in the East, MLS, versus 5th in the East, New York. If we look at the MLS standings, the Crew went to New York in June. They won 3-2. Christian Ramirez, Mo Farsi, Cucho Hernandez with a PK all scored, put the Crew up 3-1 in that game before New York got their second late on. Last year, the teams drew both meetings at 1-1. The Crew were 6th in the Supporters' Shield race right now in MLS. They own the top defense in all of MLS. They have lost just once at home, and they've allowed 7 goals, only 7 goals when playing at home at Lower.com Field. Columbus kicked off the Leagues Cup in the round of 32 recently. They brushed aside SKC with 4 goals, 44th, 57th, 77th, 79th minute. They got 2 from Diego Rossi, 1 each from brand new signings, DeJuan Jones and Dylan Chambos. The round of 16 in their last round saw them fall behind 2-0 to the last year's winners, Inter Miami. Wilfred Nancy made some changes in the second half. Ramirez came off the bench, made it 2-1 in the 67th minute. Diego Rossi added 2 more in the 69th and 80th minutes to see the Crew storm back and win that game 3-2. Rossi now has 9 goals, 5 assists in his last 9 games, and the Crew are 7-1-1 in their last 9, outscoring opponents 29-7 in that time. For New York, they drew Querétaro 0-0, won in PKs, coughed up a 2-0 lead to Cincinnati in their next game, and lost 4-2. Into the round of 32, they drew again, this time to New England 1-1. This time they went on to win in PKs. Then in the round of 16, they fell behind 1-0 to Tigres early. You would have thought maybe Tigres could have pulled away, but no, New York fought back. It was one of their best wins in history. They upset the Mexican Giants 2-1. It's a huge win, but their only win in regulation, not counting PK wins in their last 8 games. They have only 1 loss in 7, but then they also have only 5 wins in 13 and only 3 wins in regulation in those 13 games. Santi Rodriguez is heating up for New York, having scored in all 3 Leagues Cup games he's played in, so he could be worth a goal scorer prop as well. So too, obviously, could Diego Rossi or always Cucho Hernandez for the Crew. You have to trust the Crew here more at home in the form that they are in, which is great. For the win here, I would say Columbus Crew to win. That would be minus 130 odds. Next up, Philadelphia Union and Mazatlan. This one's at 7:30. It's the first meeting ever between these 2 teams. Philly, they have been struggling all season long, but they had wins of 5-1 and 3-0 entering this tournament. They beat Charlotte 1-0 before drawing Cruz Azul 1-1, losing in PKs in the group stage. In the round of 32, it was a 2-0 win over Montreal. Then it was off the round of 16 where they went to Cincinnati, took a 2-0 lead, coughed it up to see Cincy level 2-2, and then they got 2 more of their own goals later in the game to win 4-2. And 2 of them coming from Ty Baribo, scoring a brace, who now leads Leagues Cup scoring with 5 goals. He also has 11 goals in his last 11 games, so certainly could be a good bet for an anytime goal scorer prop here. That makes Philly undefeated in regulation in 6 games. They've also scored in 9 of their last 10. Philly's resurgence is impressive, but certainly the surprise team of the tournament is Mazatlan. Mazatlan had collected just 1 point and scored just 2 goals in 4 games in the Apertura, and they came into the tournament being 17th out of 18 teams in Liga MX. Mazatlan lost to New England 1-0, but then they beat Nashville 2-0 in the group stage. That set up a round of 32 clash with DC, where they won 2-1. Certainly aided, though, by a 27th minute red card from DC before they got their 2 goals, and then DC did pull one back late in that game, even though they were down a man. Last round, round of 16, they faced a huge task against Cruz Azul, and even without injured starting keeper Hugo Gonzalez, but it was still Mazatlan taking a 2-0 lead into the half and holding on to it for most of that game. Again, though, they were helped by an opponent taking a red card, which Cruz Azul took in the 49th minute, so we did have another half a game with Mazatlan being up a man. Cruz Azul did, though, battle back with late goals in the 84th and the 91st minutes, make that game drawn 2-2, but it was Mazatlan eventually going on to win in PKs. So Mazatlan started the Apertura poorly. They have been improved in Leagues Cup, but they still have just 3 wins in 10 games. They only kept 1 clean sheet going back to last season and only 4 clean sheets in 25 games. They've also been shut out in 5 of 9, but have been improved recently. Cruz Azul had only allowed 2 goals in 7 games before last game, and Mazatlan did just score 2 goals on them. But then some of their competition, taking out Cruz Azul, has not been the strongest. We had New England, we had Nashville, we had DC, and we had 2 teams that took red cards early stages of those games. If you make me pick a winner here, I'm going to pick Philly. They're in good form. They're at home, but Mazatlan has been finding a way to get by. Maybe their story continues, so maybe the safer bet is just to bet both teams to score in this game. Next up, Seattle Sounders, LAFC. This one's at 8 o'clock at Lumen Field in Seattle. It's been a while since Seattle got the better of LAFC. LA won 2-1 in LA, 3-0 in Seattle already this season. But if you go back further, it's results of 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 2-1, 1-1, and 3-0 for LA in the other recent matches. So LA is now 6-2-0, undefeated in 8, outscoring the Sounders 13-3 in those 8, and Seattle's only scored 1 goal in the past 5 meetings between them. In the round of 16, Seattle and Pumas got things started, but only one team showed up, with Seattle improving the head-to-head MLS versus LigaMX straight-up record to get things started in that round. Seattle saw Paul Rothrock open the scoring in the 32nd, Jordan Morris scoring the 58th, Rusnak scored in the 71st by PK, and Morris add another late in the 95th, also by PK, to give the Sounders the 4-0 win. Seattle beat Minnesota 2-0 on match day 1. That game was 0-0 though until late on. Minnesota had taken a red card. Match day 2, they had a surprising loss 3-1 to Necaxa. Then they had a surprising easy win against the Galaxy 3-1, and that game was 3-0 until LA scored late in that game. Seattle now has just 4 losses in 23 across all competitions, only 2 losses in 13. Both teams to score bets, only 3-6 in recent Sounders games. Seattle is getting the wins though, even without Pedro de la Vega, who is again out injured. It will be a massive clash with LAFC here, who just rolled past San Jose 4-1 with goals from Christian Oliveira, 2 from Dennis Bouanga, and another from Mateusz Bogusz. Bouanga is tied for second in Leagues Cup scoring. He has 4 goals. He's tied for third in assists with 3. French star Olivier Giroud even got 20 minutes off the bench last game to make his LAFC debut. Certainly you would expect him to have a little bit larger role this game as well. LAFC 16, 2-2 in 20 overall matches now, and they've scored multiple goals in 15 of 20. LA always seems to get the better of Seattle in recent seasons, but the Sounders are in great form themselves here at home. So I think this is a tough game to call. Possibly we could see a draw. Maybe both teams to score. If I'm picking a winner, LA looks a little bit better right now, but let's go both teams to score as a potential good bet in this game. Final game of the night, Club America, Colorado Rapids, kick off 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time at Dignity Health Sports Park. This will also be the first meeting ever between Club America and Colorado. America won the 2023 Apertura, 2024 Clausura, and the Campeón de Campeones. This season in Apertura, they are only 9th. They're 2-0-2, scored 6, conceded 5, and that slow start has sort of continued into Leagues Cup, even though they have made it to the quarterfinals here. They entered the tournament in the round of 32, found themselves tied with Atlas 1-1 until they got the winner eventually in the 73rd. They did hold Atlas, though, to just 1 shot on target. They struggled to contain a suddenly resurgent but very still average St. Louis team in the round of 16 last round. St. Louis had 7 shots on target. 2 of those found the back of the net, and it was 2-1 St. Louis until late in that game in the 79th minute. America continued to pile on the pressure with the game winding down, and they did get goals in the 79th to tie it 2-2, then a PK in the 86th to make it 3-2, and finally on the last play of the game on the counterattack with Roman Berkey out of the net and pressing for the equalizer, they scored a 4th to make it 4-2. They're now 16-7-6 in their past 29 games. Colorado, meanwhile, lost 4-0 to Portland. They were down 1-0 to Club Leon, but fought back to level in the 97th minute before Rafael Navarro went on to win with a goal from Rafael Navarro before going on to win in PKs. In the round of 32, they fell behind 1-0, led 2-1, 3-1, and eventually won 3-2 against Juarez. Both teams had goals from PKs. They did allow Juarez to pile up the chances with 21 shot attempts, 10 on target to go with 65% possession. Toluca in the last round also piled up 22 shot attempts, 6 on target in the round of 16 with 66% possession. The Rapids had only 4 shots and 2 on target. This does look like the way the Rapids like to play, conceding possession in a mid-block and trying to counter. but it was last game, it was Colorado leading 1-0 again from Navarro all the way until the 83rd minute, with Paulinho leveling the score 1-1 with a cheeky back heel goal. That game looked like we'd go to PKs, but it was Darren Yappy responding deep in stoppage time to give Colorado the win in the 96th minute to get that 2-1 win. Now, Colorado, though, has allowed a goal in 11 straight games now, also in 15 of 17. They've also scored a goal, though, in 23 of 25 overall recent matches. The 2 times they didn't were games on the road. They will be at home here. Additionally, 25 of 27 Rapids MLS games this season have seen 2 or more goals, and that trend has continued in the Leagues Cup. 3 of 4 games have seen 3 or more goals as well. 5 of 6 overall matches for them have seen 3 or more goals as well. America, you have to expect to get the win here, but they've certainly not looked perfect, and they could have very easily gone out last round. They had the crowd advantage playing in LA against St. Louis, and they just barely got by. The Rapids will have the home advantage here, but certainly we'd still expect to see a lot of America fans there traveling as well. Colorado has been conceding possession, scoring chances though, and giving up scoring chances to worse teams than America. If they do the same here, America certainly has the talent to punish them. Colorado's defense also suffers a blow here. Canadian international center back Moise Bambito looks set to sign with Nice in France. Now, he hasn't played those last 2 games already. Wouldn't expect him to play here either, as that deal is about over the line. Colorado, certainly capable of scoring. Club America have not been keeping clean sheets. I would still pick either Club America win or maybe both teams to score. Let's go Club America to win, minus 134 odds. Those are some of the leans and picks, I think, for straight bets in all 4 of these games. But certainly anything can happen, and we've seen expect a lot of tight games here as we get down to the final 8. So alternatively, I see a couple parlay options, which is generally how I like to bet these games. I did make a very simple one: Columbus to score, Philly to score, Club America to score, all coming in just to get 1 goal. It's not going to pay much, but it's at minus 150. If you wanted to improve that, I think the Columbus, probably the best team left in this tournament. You could ask Columbus to win, Philly to score, that would be plus 102. Add Club America to score, plus 139. So those are my picks and parlays for Leagues Cup action this weekend. Let me know what you're betting for the Leagues Cup down there in the comments. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel to get more, and also check out this weekend's Euro Soccer video right up there for picks in EPL, La Liga, Serie A, and the German Super Cup as well. No matter what you're betting this weekend, best of luck.